Hey guys, welcome to another one of our liquid art tutorials. Today we're going to be painting this wildflower painting, so get your stuff ready, I'm show you what you're going to need, and let's get started. So here's the setup for today. We've got our canvas board in the middle. You guys can use a canvas or some paper if you like. We then got our 3 paintbrushes. We've got a big one, a medium one and a small one. We've then got our palette. I've covered it in cling film for easy cleaning, and then we've got the acrylic paint colours: black, white, red, yellow and blue. They're all you're going to need today. They're just the primary colours. If you guys want to add some more, you're more than welcome to, but you can mix all of these together to make the right colours. We've then got our paint water and our kitchen towel for the cleaning. So for our first step, we're going to take our big paintbrush, give it a really good wash, and then we're going to take some blue and some yellow. And then we're going to mix them together to make a green. And we're just going to brush it across the bottom of our canvas board here. So what we're going to do for the background here, we're going to mix a few greens together and some white later on. And we're going to make this a few different shades of green all blended in together. So now I'm taking a little bit more yellow into my green. And I'm just going to brush across this middle bit here. So I'm not going to go any higher than this with this green, and we're going to slowly blend the bottom of this green together. So don't forget, all of our tutorials are step by step, and you can pop this video on pause at any time and paint at your own speed. So for this next bit, I'm just mixing some more of our yellow into our green. And I'm just brushing across this bit here, just thicken it up a little bit more. And now I'm going to take some white, and notice I haven't even washed my brush. I still want that green on my paintbrush. And I'm just brushing in that little bit of white to make a really soft green at the top here. I'm then going to pull it down a little bit, almost to meet the other green. And in a second, we're going to blend all these colours together. So now we're just going to brush straight across, and I'm going to start brushing down into this darker green. Like so. And it's just going to make sure that there's a gradual blend between the two different colours, making a lovely transition between the light green to the dark green. You might want to use a little bit more water on your brush for this to make sure that it blends, but you just want to make sure it goes all the way across the canvas. So once you guys have done that, this is our background colour, and then we're going to start painting things on top of that. So now wash your paintbrush for me. We're done with that big brush. We're then going to take our small paintbrush, and we're going to take some of that darker green that we made earlier. And what we're going to do is we're going to create blades of grass right now. So we're just painting straight over the background here. You will find, because the canvas is wet underneath, it might take a while before the paint takes to it, but this is absolutely fine. We're going to keep just building up over the top of this, and actually it's going to make a really nice texture once we're finished. So just keep going for now, and we're just painting these blades of grass from the bottom up to the top all the way along, okay? We don't want to go over kind of the halfway point of our canvas. We just want to paint all the way along. So for this bit with the blades of grass, kind of the best effect is when it's kind of all different lengths of blades of grass. You don't want it to be clean cut, we want it to be all across differently. So it's good to have the edges a little bit higher and then slightly towards the centre a little bit shorter. You guys can do whatever you like with this. You don't have to keep it stuck in this order. You can change it, but it's better to have the grass shapes just, you know, alternating. So now we've built up these colours in our grass really nicely. What we're going to do is we're going to make it slightly darker again. So I'm still using my small paintbrush and our green that we already created, and then we're going to use a little bit of black. If it goes too black, you want to use some of the blue and the yellow again, just to build up that green. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take this colour and we're going to go over a few bits. You don't want to cover this in this darker colour, but we're just going to do a few strands of grass here just to really pop out some dimension. So if you find that your brush strokes are sticking a little bit, you're going to need a little bit more water. If they're a little bit too runny, dry off your brush a little bit and then just go back in with the paint. So now we've been focusing on this grass area, our background has dried slightly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start building up these flowers. So you're just going to take some white and we're going to do a few different shapes, a few different dots all over where our grass has started growing. So these can all vary in different shapes and sizes. You're just going to keep putting them on, and we're going to put different colours on top of them later, or we might even just put white on them later. So just put them around and then we're going to build up on top of this. So now I'm taking a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white, and I'm just going to dot over a few of our already white flowers that we've put on here. So it's kind of pushing in the centre of them as if like a daisy, and then others I've painted over the top of them. Now I'm using some yellow just to add a few different flowers in, so I'm not necessarily going over all of the white ones. I'm leaving a few white and I'm just dotting straight yellow onto the background. So now we're going to take some blue and some white and mix it together on our palette. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to make some kind of lavender. So it's a different type of flower. It could be bluebells, it could be lavender. This was just kind of the type of flower that I was creating. And how you do this is by dotting it up and down in a line. So we've got a few different ones that we're just dotting backwards and forwards in a few different sections. And the reason we've used some white in this is so that it can make it more opaque and we can still see it against the background. And now I'm going to mix some red into that as well to make it more of a purple along some sides of it. So you don't want to cover it up completely, but you want to dab this purple over the blue just slightly. So the trouble with painting is always knowing when to stop and not keep going. So I've just done a few of these lavender style bits along here, but you don't want to do it along every strand or anything like that. So just know whereabouts you want it to go, don't overdo it. And then with this one here, I'm just adding these lighter colours over the top of them just to make them pop out a little bit more. They contrast really well against the yellow flowers that we've already painted. Purple and yellow contrast, they're opposite colours, and they just work so well when they're next to each other. So now we're going to give our paintbrush a really good wash because we're going to change colour. So we're going to take some white and some red and mix it together to make a pink colour. And then we're going to dot this about. So we're just going to do a few different dots over here, spreading it out. And then we're going to make a few different clusters of these dots as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take some red and we're going to dot it over where we've done this pink already. It looked very soft before, so now adding the red is really going to make it brighter and pop it out a little bit more. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an orange colour. So I've taken some red and some yellow and mixed it together here on our palette. And we're going to make a few different flowers. We're going to go over a few of the white ones that we created earlier. Don't cover all the white ones up though, and then make a few different ones here as well. And now the next technique we're going to do is we're going to make that orange that we made just slightly wetter, so it's a little bit more runny, and I'm going to hold in my left hand, I'm not left-handed so I'm holding it in my weaker hand, close to the canvas, and then I'm going to hold the handle of another paintbrush and I'm just going to tap it together. So we're just tapping it to make this splatter. It's going to go all over our canvas. We just want to make sure that it's like pollen, and it just gives another layer to this. It makes it a little bit more abstract. It's a little bit more fun to do as well. So try not to get too carried away with this one. We're going to go with a few different colours in a minute as well. But we're just going to splatter this all over the flowers that we've already made. So now I've given my paintbrush a really good wash, and I'm going to take some yellow this time and some white to make a really soft yellow. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go over a few of the yellow colours that we did earlier. So we made some lovely yellow flowers earlier, but it mixed in with the green slightly because it was still a little bit wet. So if we go over it now, it's going to really make them pop out a little bit more. And then second, we're going to do the same thing with some white as well. So really good wash with that brush. And we're just going to take some white that we did earlier and go over these flowers again. So now we're going to do our splatter again, but this time with some yellow. So make our yellow nice and runny, hold the paintbrush with the paint on it closest to the canvas, and then just tap it so that the paint comes off. The splatter technique is really good because we can't actually make, unless we've got a tiny paintbrush, we're not going to be able to get the paint that small. So by doing the splatter, it gives another level to it, and it's going to show that there's even tinier flowers on our painting. Now I'm going to wash my paintbrush and do the same with a bit of purple this time. So I'm just mixing the purple together using some blue and some red and a tiny bit of white as well. And we're just going to splatter this again over our flowers. You can do as much or as little as you like. So guys, we are pretty much done. So thank you guys so much for doing this video. If you have enjoyed it and you have painted along with us, please send us your photos because we'd love to see them. And I hope to see you guys next time. If you have any requests for different types of tutorials you want us to do, please drop them in the comments below and I'm sure we'll do that for you. See you guys next time.